Hello and welcome to this seminar, Protecting the Heart Health of Hispanics in Los Angeles County. Welcome and thank you for coming. I'd like to give you a little bit of background about myself. My name is Amy Esposito. I am a candidate for a Master's of Science in Applied Nutrition from the University of New England. I also have my Bachelor's in Nutrition Science from California State University, Los Angeles, where I also completed my coordinated dietetics program. I work in two places. I work at the Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center as an outpatient dietitian. I work with all different types of patients in weight management, diabetes management, and also bariatric nutrition counseling. I also work for Dietitians on Demand as an inpatient or clinical dietitian, working with all different populations. Sort of my love is doing community health education, and in the past I've worked with local high school health fairs and counseled and given lectures to high school students about nutrition, and also showing them opportunities in the healthcare field as it relates to nutrition. I've also worked with medical and dental groups as a nutrition counselor who provide services to low-income communities. And I most recently done cooking classes and cooking demos at a plant-based cooking school. And the last thing here, my interest in this community, this started many years ago. I was very interested in understanding why we had so many overweight, and didn't know the name back then, but now we call overweight and obese children. And I wanted to find out why this is. Fast forward years later, I've been working with the Hispanic population, and I enjoy learning about different cultures, and I also get a chance to practice my Spanish. So the roadmap for today, we're going to talk about cardiovascular disease or heart disease, which is what I'll refer to from here on out. Its impact on the United States, worldwide, and also here in Los Angeles County. Talk about the food environment and how heart disease plays a role in that. And then we'll cover some nutrition basics using My Plate, and then the discussion of the activities that will take place after this lecture, which will be around creating your own My Plate and doing some fun activities with label reading. So some background about heart disease. So it is the leading cause of morbidity, which is disease, and mortality, which is death, both in the United States and worldwide. I just chose several points here, and these aren't just numbers. These are pretty astronomical numbers. Worldwide, 17.9 million people die prematurely from heart disease. And it's to note here that 75% of those deaths take place in low and middle income countries. And here in the US, approximately 655,000 people die annually from heart disease, and that's 1 in every 4 deaths. So heart disease in Los Angeles County. According to a 2018 LA County Public Health Report, there's several points here that I pulled out. The first one is, it goes with the other statistics, and it is the leading cause of death and premature death, followed by stroke, which is the third cause of death. And for the last year, death rates have been consistently high among minorities, Blacks and Latinos as third. The death rates do share a close relationship with level of income, level of education, and employment status. So the way this information comes about is data is collected and reported to the Census Bureau. So no matter what your status is here in the US, I really hope that you do fill out a Census Bureau, because what they're finding is a lot of patterns of disease that relate to these particular areas that I was talking about. So we need to start to reverse these statistics, because wide inequalities exist by race and ethnicity. And this was unique, and a unique admission that they made here in this report, that These inequalities are rooted in racism and system-wide biases in both businesses and in government. And we've really seen this come to fruition, especially during the pandemic. But some progress has been made. So from the same report, death rates from heart disease have declined about 1/3. That's the same for national, and this is due in part to three things that they pointed out here. The first is improved medical care for heart disease. The second is more aggressive treatment for these risk factors, and the two biggest ones are high blood pressure and elevated cholesterol, because we know the studies show that when we focus on controlling both blood pressure and cholesterol, that it helps to reduce the risk factors of developing heart disease. And also interventions and programs such as these that are focused on improving nutrition and physical activity all help. But specific to Hispanics in Los Angeles, this is something of interest. This is called the Latino health paradox. And what it is that Hispanics both in Los Angeles and across the United States have experienced lower death rates, in part because of strong health profile of immigrant Latinos. And what this means is that when you come from another country, you're typically having staple foods, whether it's, Mexico or Latin America, it's more the corn, the beans, the rice, the, smaller amounts of animal protein and more vegetables. You just don't have the abundance of food that you have here in the US, and a lot of the foods that we have are not necessarily that healthful. So, and then the next point is the diabetes and obesity are seen in both US born and immigrant Latinos. So that speaks to the longer that you've been here, the more you develop these diseases as a result of eating an Americanized diet. So that threatens the Latino health advantage. So I like this. This is also from the LA County Health Report. So it's health equity is when everyone has access to goods, services, resources, and power they need for optimal health and well-being. And I hope that this that we can start to turn the tide on these statistics. I hope that somebody could stand here in my position years from now and say that we've actually achieved this health equity or health equality. So what is heart disease? It's a group of disorders of heart and blood vessels which can lead to heart disease. And there's many types, but they all share a main feature which is called atherosclerosis, or hardening of the arteries. And as you can see in the graphic here, the very far artery shows blood flowing through it very freely. And as cholesterol starts to build up in the walls, it starts to form these plaques in the arteries. And you can see as it progresses, the yellow areas, those are all the plaques from cholesterol, and that decreases the blood flow. And this causes a narrowing, and it impairs the blood's ability to pump through the entire blood system. And it's dangerous because what can happen is that these plaques can actually rupture and cause a heart attack. A stroke is when the rupture of the plaques actually breaks off and goes up into the arteries and travels up into the brain. Both can be very detrimental, life-threatening, and could lead to death. So here's a side view. This is an artery that's about 75% blocked. So these yellow areas, this represents the cholesterol, the fats that have become hardened, and they create these lesions. It's almost like a sore inside the body. When they break off, they can bleed, and you can see how the blood cannot flow through there. And this is what a healthy artery looks like. The blood can flow freely through here, bring its oxygenated blood and nutrients to all areas of the body. So this is pretty ideal. And some plaque buildup is normal, but because of our modern diet, but we can start to work towards more healthy arteries. So what are the risk factors of heart disease? There's two main factors, as we mentioned before: high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Also overweight and obesity. We start to look at this more so, I'm sure you've maybe heard of like body mass index. Oh, I have a high BMI, my doctor told me I'm obese. Now we're starting to look more at waist circumference. So the larger your waist circumference is past a certain point, we know that can be indicative of, developing heart disease. Also an unhealthy diet. And then I put some genetic, some of the heart disease is genetic, but there's very well documented research that heart disease can be modified or in some cases reversed with very intensive diet and lifestyle therapies. Lack of physical exercise, and then of course excessive alcohol. So all of these, except for a small amount of some genetic, these are all modifiable factors, meaning that we can change this. So some other risk factors. So biology, as we were talking about before in these slides, is really only 50% of the issue. The other 50% is what we call the social determinants of health. So this is related to low income from low paying jobs, limited education, the literacy level, eating more of a standard American diet, being underinsured. And then the last two, this is more of a global problem as well. Women carry the main familial responsibilities in low income households, caring for multiple family members, young and old, and also carrying jobs outside of the home. So, and this is part of the societal discrimination and can lead to just as many what we call poor health outcomes as men. So we're seeing more women with heart disease. The percentages are about 50-50 now. Women are gaining on men, so that's not good. So what's going on? It's the food environment, really. If we can just look out at the bigger picture. So what this is a data-pointed artwork that was created of the United States. And what the artist did was take all this data, this information on fast food restaurants that are present all over the United States. And you can see them represented by different colors. So there's literally hundreds of different types of fast food restaurants. And the blotted areas, like in the South and, in these areas where there's higher concentration, the blotted areas, that shows that there's more of a concentration of fast foods. But they're essentially everywhere. But the data shows that it's typically in the lower income areas. And so we see that example this is a local map. So if you're traveling down the 110 freeway and you get to Gaffey, it's like any city USA, this street, you can find these fast food restaurants all up and down here. But then as you start to travel, a little bit north, you go to Western and you see that there's a lot less fast foods here. As the income level rises. And then as you go to this area called Palos Verdes, there are virtually none of these same types of fast foods. They do have some convenience foods there, convenience food outlets, but they're much more healthful options. The interesting thing is, and I've watched this, over the last 10 years, McDonald's has moved out of the area. Taco Bell shut their doors. Burger King went out of business. That was like the last one to go out of business about 4 years ago. And that really speaks to what's going on. The higher your income is, the more education you have, the more you understand about these diet lifestyle diseases, heart disease. So we want to reverse that trend, but it's not just fast foods. It's also the markets that we go to. This is a local market where before you even go in, you're bombarded with all of these sodas and snacks. And I talked to a security guard at this particular store, and he said to me, I've watched soda actually become cheaper than water over the last several years. And that's a really big problem. That's just not right. So we know that sugar sweetened beverages, they provide calories, but they do not provide nutrition. And in fact, they've been implicated in a lot of bad press and a lot of diseases. So What are the diet